Now that is some amazing Test cricket. 263 for Australia, 3 for 68 there for England, and this match was saved by Mitch Marsh. And I said in the pre-game there that I thought England would probably be too good in this one, just with a few different scenarios and factors that came into it. And it was the two English new bowlers in Wokes and also Mark Wood that came in and did the damage in the end. And we'll see if that was enough. And Mitch Marsh's innings was enough to sort of save the Australians there. But let's just talk about Mitchie. And he hasn't played in almost 4 years now. And at that time, for Aussies that will remember this, even potentially for the English guys that are watching this, that Marsh was a hated man, or very much disliked, and should never be near the Australian squad again, was what a lot of people were saying. And the resolve for this man to come back and in his first match after almost 4 years, hit 100, a game saving, an incredible, an innings that will be remembered forever, is absolutely incredible. Just to show the mental resolve on some of these guys, and all of the Aussie players love having him around. He's obviously the second in line for the all-rounder spot, and I don't know how Cameron Green keeps his spot or gets his spot back in the next little bit. I think Green's going to have to work his way back into this squad, and that is how you stand up and you take a spot. So let's get into that scorecard now for the Australians. I just want to talk about that partnership between him and obviously Travis Head. So they came to the wicket together at 4 for 85, and then Marsh was dismissed at 5 for 240. So an incredible partnership of almost 160 there. And I just want to talk about how important Head's innings in that was. What he faced was a lot of bowling that he didn't really like. So obviously a lot of short stuff. He did seem to be able to get the single fairly easily, threw a lot of pull shots, a lot of sort of just taps to the leg side, a few that kind of just got outside his body, and he was able just to knock it on its head on the offside as well and get off strike, and just give Mitch Marsh the strike, because obviously they striked him at a runner ball and was pretty close to that for the entirety of the innings. And without Head there, you saw what happened following that. Obviously, Carey got hit and then ended up backing away and slicing one out to sort of an outside the circle forward point kind of thing, and then you had Stark, Cummins, and Murphy did get 13 off the 12, but Mark Wood was way too quick for him. You saw Pat couldn't even get his bat down in time for his LBW, which was absolutely salmon. So yeah, that Head innings was so important. If Marsh was left by himself there, then then this is probably very different, and he probably gets a 40 and no one's really talking about it. But for him to go on with it was amazing. Let's talk about the drop catches now, because that was the second thing, and probably the most important thing here, other than Marsh just with absolute heroics in his first game back. But it was Joe Root's catching. He ended up dropping a couple, and when he took Head eventually there, threw the ball in the ground in disgust with his catching ability. He actually almost dropped that one too. It bobbled out, and he kept it against his chest there. So Travis Head also got dropped by Bairstow down the leg side very early on as well, and that was a massive mistake. And you do look at some of the catching that Alex Carey can pull off, and the one that he took in England's innings there above his head to his left was incredible there to dismiss Ben Duckett in that one, and that's something that Bairstow doesn't really have in his game. He has taken one sort of screamer, but he is missing some of the easier ones. And that one down leg off Head, they ended up giving it buys, but it was definitely off the bat. They would have reviewed it for sure. That those types of catches, that was early on. That was probably 55 to 60 balls back. He was only probably 10 to 15 down, and that one just is massive, and that just gets Carey, and if we get another wicket there, it's into Stark, Cummins, Murph, and Boland there. Mitch Marsh also got dropped early, as I said, by Joe Root, and that was massive. That was within his first 15 runs as well, and gave him an extra 100 runs in that, and the Australians could have been all bowled out for about 150, I'd say, pretty comfortably. If Marsh gets 40 there, Head gets caught down the leg side, well, obviously if he gets caught early, but let's just say that one goes down. He then probably gets out for 40 because he's batting with like Cummins or something. He's trying to go that little bit too hard compared to just playing some really terrific strokes. And that's what it was. It was hard hitting. He hit the ball so hard that he's a big boy. The pull shots are incredible. Some of the drives are really, really good, and obviously some of the back cuts as well. So yeah, just a massive congratulations to Marsh, and for those that were giving him shit for a long time. Super, super talented player, and this is what you can get from these types of guys. And obviously he's bowling. He's well ended up getting a wicket as well. So that's that. Let's go back to the start of this innings, and the Australians go into bat first. Warner gets dismissed in the first over. Played a lovely on drive there before nicking, and he did end up fishing at it again. It's very, very similar to those wickets that we saw back in 2019. So yeah, very upsetting that he was out, that happened. It wasn't the first over, so you can sometimes expect that type of play, but it's definitely not what's needed by a guy of his caliber in Warner. So you thought he might have been back a little bit, but he still ended up getting caught pushing outside off, unfortunately. Usman Khawaja got bowled by a very, very good ball. It was very quick. It swung back a little bit and ended up taking middle leg off Khawaja, and he looked like he was even too slow for that one. So it does show that sometimes sheer pace can really do the job. The big thing with Wood in this one, it wasn't just the pace. It was his ability to actually move the ball, and that's where Josh Tong, it worked really well for him in the last test, is that he was obviously not as quick as Wood, but was able to swing it back a fair bit more. Wood was just getting that late swing and enough swing at that pace to really trouble anyone. Like, it wouldn't matter if you're, the Australians here used to facing Starkey, Cummins and these kind of guys in the nets. A lot of these guys grew up, in the younger years of Test cricket, got to face Mitch Johnson in the nets and Brett Lee and stuff like that. So yeah, they're used to it, but it's that swing late that's going to undo anyone. Marsh and Smithy at the crease. It's like, okay, let's go. Let's build a partnership here. Obviously being 2 down very early, and Marsh going, again, a little bit of a, didn't need to play it. He's been very good at leaving those ones that are going over the stumps. It would have been over sort of off stump, just outside off there, and those shorter ones end up nicking it. So yeah, well bowled by Wokes there. Smithy, his 22 off 31, started really aggressively, really positively in his 100th test, and a big congratulations to Smithy on that one. But just ended up falling to a really good ball. It did seam back in, so probably would have hit close to the middle of the bat, or at least the thick part of the bat on the inside edge. And just did a little bit too much and got that inside edge there for Broad to get Smithy. So yeah, Broad had a couple early and was really in charge of this innings before that partnership came about. And yeah, just wanted to really praise that 155 partnership. It really saved the Australians. And this one doesn't mean that they're out of the woods, but 260 odd. Now having England 3 for 68 is going to go a long way to really getting them in a good position to win this test match. Kerry got hit in the head and then got out the next ball. So I think that definitely, that pace and that type of bowling can really affect the way you play. And end up backing away and trying to hit one over cover and point when they had a deep backward point and sort of a halfway guy in front of point. So yeah, a little bit of a brain snap. Hopefully his brain is not snapped, and we do love Kerry. But thank goodness he did come out and get an awesome catch and kind of rectify a few that bad shot there that he played. Yeah, Starkey got bowled too good, and then Cummins, the LBW, Murphy, the bowled as well with the chop on. So that's that. Let's talk about the bowlers. And we said Mark Wood, Pfeiffer, come back 11.4 overs. He did pick up obviously plenty of them in the back end there. Got all the fellas there with Marshy. No, Wokesy got Marshy in that one, I believe. No, Wokesy got Head, I should say. And Marsh, I should say. Sorry about that. He did end up with the 3. But yeah, Wood's incredible bowling. 11.4 overs, 5 for 34. That it definitely improves that 40-odd average in England that he has. So yeah, I think this will be Mark Wood's spot to lose now. And he should play the rest of these test matches, barring injury. Just showing that he's been the first one out of all 3 of these test matches to go on a bit of a run and knock, get players out there. And obviously a few of them are at the end, but he bowled, a couple of important spells and could have got one earlier as well. Robbo was okay. Number 38 off his 11.2. Didn't go for much stick, but was just okay there. Broady obviously bowled great at the start. Did get a little bit of stick there from Marsh in his second crack, but that was that there. We had Wokesy 17 overs. So you see, it just seems to be that guy that just goes and goes and goes. Obviously got hit a little bit by Marshy in that, but really pushed back. And this is the guy that I've been talking about that's such a good bowling average in England, and he pretty much got that again here with a 20-odd average. So just showed that his importance being able to get Head and also Marsh just being able to break that partnership was super important. And Moeen Ali wasn't able to get into his work too much. It's interesting that a lot of Head's runs were off Moeen Ali. Mitch Marsh hit a lovely 6 to get to 99 off him as well. So at this point it's definitely a seamer's wicket, which we saw here. That's that really. There's not too much else to say on Moeen. It's going to be interesting to see how Todd Murphy goes about things when he comes into bowl in England's first innings there. But three down for the English. Ben Duckett just fishing a little bit outside his off stump again. That one that's just not not far enough away to cut. He just seems to go for it very regularly, and he'd only faced 5 balls by that point. But yeah, terrific catch by Carey. And that was probably the difference just between these 2 innings at the moment. I know it's a very young innings for England, but the catches. Yeah, Alex's was perfect. Smith's was a really good one. Obviously, pretty sharp catch straight to him, but sharp. And then Davey Warner to his right as well. Really, really important catches on that one. Starkey didn't go for too many, which was great. Didn't get the wickets, but yeah, was very solid on that front. Boland came out 3 overs, none for 7, so a good start for him. And then Pat obviously took a bit of stick, but got the wickets, and that was of most importance. And as I said, Mitch Marsh there, 3 overs, 1 for 9 with a really, really good wicket to take Crawley, who was the danger man on 33 off the 39. And his aggression when he bats it's very impressive. And at least you can say now in this one that he didn't get himself out. It was a good ball, a little bit outside the off stump, but yeah, one of those times that you go, okay, good ball. Hopefully you could try and leave that one. It's very close to stumps, but yeah, it is what it is on that one. So yeah, no pushback against Crawley in the way he was playing. He's doing a great job there. Harry Brook again, just pushing forward, trying to play a defensive shot, a little bit outside his off stump as well. But again, not too bad to say there, and a good catch and good bowling from Paddy there to get those 2 guys. So it comes down to Joe Root, Johnny Bairstow right now, and really, this is the partnership. This is the one I spoke about in the preview, that Joe Root had a pretty poor test match, and especially after his catching there, in this first innings, he's going to come out and really need a really good score. And 19 off 43 is a great start. We know how good he is on the offside there through point and gully, and so the third man region. Let's see if he can continue to play really well, and he's going to be the key wicket. If Aussies can get him out early, I think that they'll get through England fairly quickly, probably under their total of 260. If he can stay and get a big score, you obviously know what the class of Bairstow, Stokesy, and then they've got some all-rounders in Wokesy and also Moeen Ali that can get the job done there. But the game's in the balance. WinViz has it very, very close there. 47% for England, 42% for Australia, and 11% for the draw. Unless there's rain about, I definitely do not see a draw happening. But very, very exciting. Day one, give Mitch Marsh his praises. If you're going to kick him while he's down, really build him up while he's here, because he's absolutely saved us in this one. And the slander that he copped for years and years and years wasn't warranted. Yes, he probably should have been dropped at some point, but a lot of time when he was playing there, they didn't really have a ready-made replacement. And obviously Green's come, but he's also struggled as well. They have a very similar batting average there, and then bowling, I see them similar. Green's probably slightly better at the moment, but Marsh picked up a wicket in this, and I think he's going to be very important. So give him his flowers, and I hope you enjoyed day 2. That was a lot of fun.